Hi, good afternoon. I do apologize. I'm barely logging in. I'm still in another, we have Commissioners Court meeting going on right now, so I'll be at both places at once.
I don't know if you want to mute your mic because it is picking up
Yes,
the meeting.
absolutely.
Okay.
All right, now that we have quorum, are we streaming live as of now?
I believe, Nadia, yes, right? Clock usually starts at 12, so they should already be recording.
It's online.
This meeting to order. It is 12:08. We can commence with the roll call by the liaison.
Yes, Mr. Raul Reyes,
Present.
okay. Mr. Dr. Gaskin, I'll come back to him. I see him on the screen. It's just he might have stepped away from the mic. Ms. Roberta Ceballos,
Present.
Mr. Roberto Telles,
Present.
Ms. Karen Elizondo,
Present.
and you did mention that Mr. Juan Vargas was not going to be joining us today, and
Yes.
so is Ms. Maria Olivares will not be joining us today either. So, Chairman, you do have a quorum, but we can acknowledge Dr. Gaskin as soon as he comes in, but you do have a quorum with the 4 members that are present.
All right, then we'll go ahead and continue on with the agenda. Item number 3, approval of the minutes from meeting of August 7th. Did you provide those for us, or?
So I was going to ask to entertain a motion to table that because we weren't able to finish them up and send them on time. So we can table them, and for the next meeting we can entertain both of them.
Yes, I'll move to table.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Ms. Ceballos to table the previous minutes from August 7th. If there's no discussion, I'll go ahead and commence with the voting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed signify by saying nay. I believe the motion passes. We'll go ahead and I believe we have 5 minutes till citizen comments close. Is that correct?
That's correct. We don't have any comments at this time, Mr. Chairman, but we definitely have to wait till 12:15, so you can bring it back if you wish.
Maybe in 4 minutes we'll revisit that issue. We'll go ahead and continue on with the agenda item number 5.
Yes. Okay. Let me share what I have. Give me 1 second, sir, so I can pull it up.
That's fine.
Okay. Oh, let me know. Okay. We were having some issues with the scoring, so I am still getting Nadia to tally up Dr. Gaskin's numbers, but that was just on our side. So let me share. So what I have right now you're still, you are seeing my spreadsheet, right? Is that correct? Can everyone see it? Okay, I'm just putting Mr. Reyes's numbers. So that we can discuss. Okay, so what I have right now is, what you're seeing on the board is the hotel motel applications. I'm still waiting to just input Dr. Gaskins, which we should finish out shortly. And then you can see the general fund ones, the same thing. So now on committee amounts, I only received Thayes and Ms. Elizondo's recommendations. But of course, we can go over funding amounts separately. And what I did is, that's, well, I guess it averaged it, but no, I don't want to. That's incorrect, sorry. It's averaging, well, yeah, it's giving you an average of the two.
Mr. Chairman, can I just ask for a clarification? Did y'all not receive my recommendations for funding allocation?
The amounts, no, I didn't. If you're able to forward them to me, I can just copy and paste them right now.
Yeah, go ahead and do that, because I know that I did that Sunday before 6.
Yes, I received Karen's through email, and I already checked my spam. I was thinking that maybe it got stuck there, but I didn't have anything in my spam. But if you want to forward it to us again, I can just copy and paste it.
Absolutely.
As we wait for that, can we just quickly check if there's been any citizen comments, because we reached the 12:15 deadline?
Give me 1 second, Mr. Chairman. Let me refresh the system. No comments.
Okay, good. So we can commence.
Thank you.
So I mean, I don't know if there's any discussions right now that you all do want to discuss while I get the last numbers. Was there any questions you all had?
No.
I do apologize. Who do I send it to? Because I sent it to Leticia. So do I send it to?
You can send it to M. Martinez 2.
Okay, thank you.
And I can double check. Letty, I believe she's on the line. Letty, can you check your email and see if you received it, and you can forward it to me? It should be for Mr. Raul Reyes. She doesn't have a mic. Yes.
Ms. Martinez,
Yes.
do you have all the information that you needed from me? I just want to make sure.
Dr. Gaskin, I think what I didn't receive from you was your committee recommendations, the amount, the actual amounts. Did you see that email, that spreadsheet that we had sent, in case you wanted to already send to us your recommendations, and then we would discuss the averages?
Yeah, that I did not complete. I did complete all the others. I clicked myself to death and completed all the other stuff in the other one, in the other thing. I have not completed that.
Okay, yeah, and I'm just waiting for, Nadia's just helping me tally them up. There was a little glitch in the system, and due to some of the committee members not submitting, you know, like Ms. Olivares and Mr. Vasquez, Vargas, sorry, Mr. Vargas, what happened is that the system didn't allow us to automatically tally them because it was counting them as incomplete. So we're doing it manually, but we should just take a few more minutes, she's just finishing up. But, now if you have at least the hotel motel, we can start discussing those.
Since they're they're not in the system categorized as such, they're all listed together. I'm going one by one, but I'm missing like 10. So just a few more minutes and I should be done. Just 1 second.
No problem. So I don't know, Mr. Reyes, if you want Mr. Gaskin to give us a recommendation right now on the amount, or do you want just or Dr. Gaskin, do you want to just review it as right now when we start discussing?
I'd have to review it now because I don't really know.
Your numbers, okay.
I don't really know one, I don't know numbers, but two, I think it's better for an open discussion. I didn't really want to put those down. And
Perfect.
also I would need to go back through and pull all of the information again. So.
No problem. No problem.
That should be fine.
Okay, so she'll just share it with me shortly and we could discuss I'll leave up there what the scores that we do have, so you can see how it's already averaging out, like in hotel motel, based on the 4 numbers that are inputted, you could already see the averages. Mr. Reyes, I just received your spreadsheet. Thank you.
Tina, my screen is the Excel spreadsheet is blocked out.
Oh, the same issue. There
Okay.
you go.
There, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think when I was trying to open the other one, I'm gonna stop sharing it for a little bit just so it can let me copy and paste the new numbers.
And I never got the document with the figures.
I'm sorry, with which figures?
With the amounts.
Oh, yes, I'm okay. Let me see. I thought I had included it in the. Give me a second and I can put it up on the board. these are the amounts that you were, Ms. Ceballos, these are the ones that are available. For hotel motel, there's roughly about 552,000 available, and for general fund, there's about roughly 404,814 available. And versus, you can see the amounts that were requested in the light orange. Okay, I just completed the hotel motel. So let me stop sharing so I can tally those up. Nadia, did you just send it? I haven't received it.
2 seconds, I'm literally clicking send. There, let me know if you received it.
Okay, so let me share it again. We have completed the numbers for hotel motel, so we can discuss funding for that category first. Okay. Let me know if that helps. Is that a little bit easier to read? Can y'all read the numbers correctly? Or clearly? Or you want me to try to make it bigger? I can try to make it bigger.
I just had one question with regards to this. What is the amount that we have to be able to allocate?
So for hotel motel, there's $552,000 available.
552?
Yes, correct. That's the number that was given to me by the budget department. But if we go even lower, that is fine also. Because we will be starting budget workshops tomorrow, and we are going to be having to be very critical with these funds, because we do anticipate the hotel motel tax industry to take a hit this next couple of months, and also to consider, depending on what these events dates are, the realistic, will they be realistically happen? And I know currently that's one discussion we are having with current current hotel motel recipients, that were not able to have, that they were going to have their event during this pandemic time. So now virtual events are not considered hotel motel reimbursable activities. So now, so we also have to take into account, when are they actually going to consider these events happening, and will they even happen?
Yes, and the reason why I'm asking is because I could be wrong, but I specifically remember that there is one of the applicants where that figure is pretty much set. So I know last year we tried to make some modifications, but we were told that we couldn't. And that would be for the Laredo Center for the Arts.
So the Laredo Center for the Arts, yes, you're correct. $100,000 goes into the rental of their building. Yes. So we do request that the committee consider funding them 100,000 for the rental, and then the 50,000 they're asking is to actually run the center. And
Absolutely.
yeah.
I'd like to, if it's okay with the committee, I think we can balance and award everyone. I had an issue, and this is just me personally. I had an issue with the $50,000 towards salary for one of the 3 issues with Laredo Main Street. So I'd like to see if maybe perhaps if we can take that off and then take, I would say perhaps, well, if we were to leave everybody based on the previous requested amount, where would that leave us?
You're talking about previous year, right?
Yes.
Could you pull up one of the score sheets for the funds? So like, I know mine was complete for the Excel, and I was pretty close to that number, to that 552 number.
These were the committee recommendations. So, Mr. Tejas, you were at 560. And last year, let me pull up this. I believe I did put those. This is what. Let me make it bigger. This is in comparison to what they're asking right now, and what currently they're being allocated.
So last year it was 570, right? That's pretty much what I had.
Yes.
I'd like to see if, again, and this is just because I don't think we should be giving money towards salaries. I'd like to strike the $50,000 for the salaries of executive directors and assistant directors for Laredo Mainstream, and that should put us, a little below, or just deduct the difference so that we can reach the 552.
Yeah, so if we do, so if we do the whole 50,000, let's just say, I'm just taking yours into consideration for purposes of looking at the numbers. So it would put us at 520. So, but your other option was not to remove the whole 50, just to remove what's pending?
Well, I mean, I really wanted to just, award what they had originally requested. That would put us in 570, if I'm not mistaken, right? The original, well, not what they requested the previous year, which was 570. And to balance it to the 552, we could either deduct it from those salaries, from that salary line item.
So that would get it.
And I know,
so your recommendation would be 32,000 there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they'll still get something, but I really do feel I have an issue when we're giving nonprofit organizations funds for to subsidize the cost of salaries, because that should come out of their own efforts. I think any taxpayer funding, whether it be through third-party funding or general fund money, should go specifically towards providing services and not towards salaries.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that, Raul. I saw that as well, and I thought, let's see what the committee was going to bring up. But those are my exact same thoughts.
So do you want to go item by item, agency by agency, so that you all can decide on an amount?
I'm only speaking for myself, but because times are difficult, because COVID has really disrupted a lot of the activities, and because they're also because these organizations run the risk of not being able to hold their activities and not even get the reimbursement amount. I feel very comfortable with the current, the previous spreadsheet that you have, Ms. Martinez. That
you're seeing the amount requested in the committee recommendation. Is that?
Yeah, but the previous workbook that you had, where you had our recommendations. There you go. Yes. That one. I feel comfortable with those recommendations that will put it at the current 552 that was allocated last year. That way we don't decrease from anybody, although I'm not too inclined, with the whole allocation of salaries, but I think, $32,000 out of $50,000 that are being requested is still something.
Do you want to put that as a form of a motion? And that would basically, if I'm understanding right, you would be basically asking to fund their current amount.
Their current amount and just deduct the
adjusting the 50,000 for Laredo Main Street salaries. So just to give you an idea, if this is the motion, I'm gonna just put it quickly here. And I believe this was 32. So that would put you at 552. So I believe, Mr. Reyes, you motioned for this committee to consider allocating what's on the screen right now, and Mr. Day is second, or?
Yes. If that's the motion that Raul wants to make, I will second.
Dr. Gaskin, any other committee member, any questions or concerns?
No, I agree with yes and Mr. Dias. I think that would put us in a good spot, and they are getting something. It's like this, not that we're not fully, we're not giving them nothing, right? But as I said before, I doubt they're going to even be able to do half of these events. Most of these just look like they're, unless you can physically get people together, and it looks like for the next 6 months, that's not going to be possible. A lot of this money is just, it's not going to get used, so.
I agree also with the decision. Okay. Do you want me to then?
Miles, did you have any comments? No? Okay, well then I think that's everybody's comments. We can go ahead and go into voting. If there's no other discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye to approve this motion.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion passed. Let's
move on to general fund. Okay.
Yes.
Give me 1 second.
Can I make a comment? Yeah, it's what we already did, but there's one of the organizations, and I have no affiliation with the organization, but some of the organizations that I think would be more inclined to help during this particular crisis, like Misericordia and other places, because we have a lot more people kind of locked up with each other, so there may be mental health needs, domestic violence, training, those kind of things. Maybe those we could look at, especially with the general fund, to see if we can provide more resources for them, just because I think they'll be more in need just because of the nature of what they're doing. Because they're not doing public events as much as they're trying to help for some of the stuff that we're going through with the crisis. So that's just something, that's a statement to be made, not necessarily to debate anything, but just something I thought that I would bring up.
The other comment I'd like to make, Mr. Chairman, is if you notice in my scoring, I did not score 3 One was Laredo Neighborhood Works, only because they didn't even have a funding request according to the spreadsheet that I received. So I figured there was no point in scoring them, and because they weren't asking for anything. And then the other ones that I have to recuse myself from even speaking or getting involved in the discussion would be Casa Misericordia and the Mercy Ministries of Laredo, because I serve as a board member for them.
Yes. We'll let the record reflect that.
Okay, so Chairman, as you can see, these are the scores for general fund. And I'm sorry, I hope you all can read them. I can make them bigger if you all like, and I can zoom in.
Can we just jump to the spreadsheet? Yeah, that's
the funding, the final funding. Okay, so the final funding, these are their current amounts, and this is a requested amount, and of course your committee recommendation would be there. Currently, since some of them didn't apply, and then some of them are new, it shows that current amounts are 381 because of some of them that didn't get money last year.
mm-hmm.
I do have a question similar to this, and I apologize. We could have gotten the information, but I just don't recall. How much money has been allocated to award for the general fund applications?
For general funds, we have available 404,814.
814. Thank you.
And I apologize if I didn't send it out. I thought I had sent it out.
Do you have our accumulated suggested funding?
So the committee recommend, these are the amounts that were submitted to us. And as Dr. Gaskin mentioned, he didn't submit because he wanted to discuss them. Mm-hmm. And Ms. Ceballos didn't submit the recommended amount to open up for discussion. So this is more or less what Mr. Reyes has suggested, Mr. Reyes and Ms. Elizondo.
And can we perhaps see the actual totals for them?
Yes, the actual totals are here.
Did we ever get an update on the boxing, amateur boxing?
No, they didn't. They didn't get anything to us.
So, Ms. Martinez, if we were to utilize the same concept as we did for hotel motel funds, where would that leave us right now? How much additional money we would have to allocate?
That would put you all at 381,848, which you have an available of 404,814. So you would have $22,966 to possibly fund any of the 3 new applications we received, or increase someone else.
I'd like to consider our colleagues to consider the Laredo stroke support. I know that there's only 2 more applicants, right, that have actually, out of those 3 new ones, that actually requested. I think one is $15,000 and the other one is $10,000, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
And if we were to fund them, that would put us at $25,000.
Yes,
which we would still be under the allocation.
Sorry, no, because you only have 22,000. So
Okay.
yeah, so if I do 10,000 here and the 25 and the 15 here, it actually is.
How about we do the 10,000 on the Special Olympics instead of 15?
Oh, sorry, I put it in the wrong one. Okay, 10,000.
What I did was the money that was the remaining balance, the 22, was divided between the three new applications. But I was looking into discussing, because I know some of the organizations are serving the community in what's essential right now, rather than other things that are not that essential. So I don't know if you would like to bring that into discussion.
Can we jump to the other Excel really quick, the ones that has our numbers?
There you go. Okay, there.
Because my numbers did have some increases there for Bethany House and for I believe Casa with Casa Misericordia, not really, but it had more than what they had gotten last year, and I'm just maybe 4,000 away from the number. I did not award any of the new organizations, and I did leave out the amateur boxing club because I was under the impression that they did not submit their application correctly. But I mean, I don't know what the discussion is, what the feelings are of the other committee members. I personally feel like the South Texas Food Bank has already received $100,000 from the city of Laredo. So I don't know if we want to award them another $35,000.
Let me chime in on this, Mr. Chairman.
Right.
I most certainly understand, and I know that Karen, I echo your concern in terms of these organizations that have pretty much stepped up to things, but they are already receiving, like the chairman stated. I can think of the South Texas Food Bank, which I volunteered in the past for, and I'm a staunch supporter. But I believe from the county they've already received $100,000. From the city, they received another $100,000. And this is just to keep in mind that this is for the next fiscal year. I would be, I guess what I'm saying is, because of the funds that the limited funds that we have, I would feel very uncomfortable having to pick and choose which people get more funding than others, because every organization, and that's the hardest thing as a committee member, right? Every organization, serves a certain segment of the population. They do their best, but unfortunately at this time, like in every other, occasion, and we've done this in the past, we don't necessarily increase or, fund their requested amount. When we have difficult times and financial constraints, we at least try to award them what they have already been receiving. And I'd be more inclined to that than having to choose who gets a little bit more, because I really do think going back. I think Neighborhood Works, even though they didn't put any figure, that's why I didn't put any funding. I think they do a phenomenal job in what they do, and as does the other the Laredo Stroke Support. I've been witness firsthand to the amazing work that that they do, and so I don't know. I'd be more. I mean, we have $5,000 left over if the committee were to decide not to fund the boxing, right? Because they didn't submit, or they failed to submit the required documentation. But I think we're in the right step if we fund what we had previously funded, and then maybe we can move on with respects to earmarking the additional difference that we may have available.
Did someone want to make a motion? Now, what we're looking at right now is just the what Mr. Reyes did suggest for us to see the amount of the current. So this is how the current allocation would look with the addition of Laredo Stroke at 10,000 and Special Olympics at 10,000. That would put you at $401,848,000. Did anybody want to make an official motion, or recommend another change to these numbers, or?
Well, we can add some of the remaining balance to the neighbor works. They don't have a specific amount, but so.
Yeah, okay, that would put 2,966. And I believe the request was to help families pay for that $100 fee. So I'm thinking that, yeah, the items that they would use, or the amount that they would receive, would be to pay to supplement that person that did not have the $100 to do the first-time home buyer course. If I'm not mistaken, that's how I understood it. So they might have left it because they're requesting any intervals of $100. That's how I understood it. I can put in those numbers so you can see. So if you would, if Karen, your recommendation is 2,966, because that's the difference, right? Is that correct? That's what I understand. So that would put us at the 404,814.
Class, did you have anything to add? Dr. Gaskins, did you have anything to add?
No, I did not have anything to add. Thank you, though.
I think with Karen's addition, I think we're ready for a motion. Someone would like to make that motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we vote on as presented.
Okay, with this total 404,814, I think that was.
Yeah. So this is, yeah, this as presented on the spreadsheet.
It's been motioned to accept these recommendations. Is there a second?
A second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll go ahead and move into the voting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion passes. All right.
Okay. Let me stop sharing it. Okay, well, I really appreciate everyone, attention to these applications and consideration and your time for all the meetings. I know you might have felt rushed this time around, and I apologize for that. Before we close out, I just wanted to introduce, in Nadia's office, there is a gentleman actually that will be the new nonprofit coordinator. So I don't know if he wants to say hi, but we will be introducing, we will send out an email to the committee members and all the nonprofits because he will be coming on board this week and helping us, with what doesn't seem to be a lot of work, but it is a lot of work.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. So I happen to know that young fellow back there. He's very intelligent, very self-motivated, and y'all could have not picked a better person for that position. So welcome, Mr. Edgar Campos.
Thank you.
Welcome. Ms. Martinez, as far as tomorrow's budget meetings, do you need myself or Dr. Gaskins to assist in any form to present?
So let me, I'm actually gonna have a mini presentation with management this afternoon to discuss your committee's recommendations. And I know typical fashion would be that I would encourage committee members to join me and come on board in case there's a question or discussion. But let me double check because, with what the current health situation that we are in, our meetings are being held very differently. And I am being told that for the first time, I think in months, I will actually be stepping into chambers because it's easier for them to hear me. But they are taking a lot of precautions, a lot of social distancing, a lot of covering, and only like one person there for my staff. I will not be able to take anybody from my staff. It's just going to be me. But let me ask if maybe you all can join us virtually, because I know they do that whenever there's consultants or committee members that are going to be requested information from. So let me ask if that's allowed. And I'll definitely share the link or share any information. So as I understand, Mr. Thayes and Dr. Gaskin, would you all be interested? Or, I mean, as long as we can't meet quorum. So as long as it's less than quorum, we can definitely invite a few of the committee members to join us virtually. I can definitely ask.
Just let me know. I can make time to be available if I'm needed.
Okay. Anybody else is interested? Yes. Okay. Okay. Then definitely what I'll do is I'll ask what the process is going to be, what the protocol they want to follow, and I'll let you all know this afternoon because I'm scheduled now. Of course, the budget workshops start tomorrow at 5:30. I am scheduled right after Mr. City Manager's intro. So I'm scheduled to be the first presentation, but sometimes, it's also as council wishes, they might have, another presentation that they want to push forward and stuff. But as of right now, I am scheduled to be one of the first ones. It should start around, starts at 5:30. I should be presenting close to 5:45, 6. But I'll give you as much information as I can, and I'll let you all know. And what they do is I would send you the link, and they would probably put you like in the waiting area where you see everyone as a presenter, but you can't talk until they let you in to talk. That's how they've been handling most of us also.
Okay, you just let us know, and if there's no other business, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
It's moved by Raul Reyes to adjourn our meeting. No discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion passes. Thank you guys. Great. Did in record time.
I know. Thank
Within
you.
the hour.